Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode of Rate My Studio, the new series here on MixBus TV where you guys send me pictures of your setup, your studio, and I tell you what I think, and if I can, I give you tips on how to improve it. This is the first episode, so let me know in the comments down below if you like it, and we're gonna keep doing this. Let's get to it. Hello everyone, welcome back to MixBus TV. Hope you guys are having a great day. Before we start, check the info box down below for free plugin special discounts and offers, and visit mixbustv.com for all the mix and mastering courses. We have a brand new one, producing and mixing vocals. Everything you need to get professional sounding vocals. In there, you can also book mix and mastering with me and all the other services. And if you want to access the exclusive videos here on YouTube, click the join button, become a MixBus TV member, get all the perks. If you haven't already, check out Bella Kelly's new single, Felony. 2 videos are here on YouTube, the original one and the alternate universe version featuring Ryan Shuck. Finally, if the videos are helping you, you want to support the channel, please consider using the super thanks or grab some merch. Let's get to the video. All right, let's start with our first studio. This is Amori Creates, and let's see how it looks. This is looks like a home setup. So the first thing that I like is the bass traps. These I think are gig bass traps. They seem positioned in the corner for what I can see here. And we have SSL, not much hardware gear. I see a couple of budget pieces and the DVR 250, that's a nice touch. We have Kali monitors upside down, which I don't like. Unless you are really freaking short, which from the picture, let me see, we have multiple pictures. Okay, so this is the other picture, and we have some bass traps on the side. So this is what I don't like. The tweeter should be a ear height, and from the picture I'm not a fan of seeing the tweeter, which is probably at your chest height. That I don't like. I'm not sure why you flip the monitors upside down, but I'm not a fan of it. Those tweeters definitely look way too low. And the other thing that I'm not a fan of is that you have bare wall right behind the monitors. That is also something I don't like. I would much rather see those panels in the center behind the monitors than in the center. Although you should ideally cover everything. So the entire front, your back, and of course I don't see the angle. I don't think you have anything on the ceiling, but you should break the 90 degrees corner of the ceiling in front of you and ideally have a cloud like I have here. I like the bass straps. These are professional bass straps. I like them. I don't like the foam on the sides. Again, you should try to put either fiberglass panels or rock wool, even better, because I can tell you can probably build yourself, so just do it and get rid of that foam. Everything else is cool. This is a cool setup. Like I said, let's definitely change those upside down monitors unless you have a good reason for it, or again, from the picture I can't tell, and those tweeters are your ear height. Otherwise I would not keep them that way. The next one is Astra Air Studio. Let's take oh, these are really small pictures, and it looks like a picture of a cabinet with some stuff. Okay, so we have a home studio here. You're into what it seems modular stuff, since you have a lot of foam that doesn't do much of anything. I mean, it's better than nothing at all, but I'm not really liking. So the foam, as we see in the corners on top like that, it doesn't really do anything. You know, it just blunts high frequencies, but that's about it. And I understand this is like set up like that's the best I can do, and it's fine. We've all been there. I see an M box, which is probably where you run your synths. And then what it looks like an SSL interface with 2 Telegear pieces of gear. Again, not a fan of the foam in front of the monitors. Those bass traps, they don't look amazing, but they probably are good if you fill them up with fiberglass or rock wool. And yeah, that's a lot of foam. I'm not a fan of the foam. Just even if you build them yourself, just do a couple of panels. Your treatment should come before the pieces of gear. Next one is Ivan Munoz. And we have what it seems guitar player, another home studio. We have bare walls, not a fan. Apollo, and the monitors are placed really, really strange, especially these the wide ones. They're very, very close to you. All of them are, with nothing on in the corners at all. And even if, I mean, if you can't put stuff like permanently, like in a professional studio, like I have here, at least like put something that you can move around or something. Like it doesn't really take much to build yourself. The listening position, I'm not a fan with the monitors like really wide and like almost headphones like. The purpose of having multiple monitors is not just for different voicing, but it should also be different sizes and different distances. So if the Dynaudio are bigger, which it seems, they should be further away. So also the distance from the two speakers from the wall should be different. It's a pretty simple setup. We have an Apollo that I can see and Adam audio. Not a fan of the Adam. And you have some nice traps in the back. That's very cool. Let's definitely take care of the front wall, because that's really, really bad to have like bare walls like that. We have James Hill studio. Let's take a look. Oh, we have a real facility here. So this is the first picture is what it looks like, a tracking room. Very well done, like super professionally done. Love this. Love to see like, oh, that's beautiful, man. That's a beautiful studio. Amazing amps. 5150 was my favorite. You know, there was actually the 6165 plus was the one that I was using. Bogner, love the Bogner. Both of them amazing. That's a real nice collection of cabs and amps. The studio looks absolutely amazing with the wood diffusion. Beautiful control room. This is obviously a professional facility. We have, let's say, some gear. I can really, we can tell probably, yeah, from the picture. We have a CL1B, a style level, 2 distressors, 1 fatso. I can make up the bottom ones as a Behringer effect. Stereo Pultec. I'm not sure what this is. It looks like a Vintech probably preamp and a Bricasti. So all like studio standards, really amazing. We have a Silver Bullet, I think, and a Hammer EQ for what I can make. A Clariphonic, 2 LA2As, 2 1176s. What it looks like a DBX here, and a 278. So great collection. I have most of the stuff myself. And we have a board. I don't know if we have other pictures. We have an SSL's Big 6 as well. Nice, nice. And we have what it looks like ATC monitors, I think. Amazing drum live room. Really nice diffusion, and with the umbrella like Barefoot Studio, which I worked at. Original Yuri for the 76s, couple of audio escapes, and yeah, the gear I recognized everything. This is the Rupert Neve, what it seems, I think the Master Bus processor, a DBX at the bottom. Really nice gear. Love the Bricasti. That's a beautiful studio, man. That's a beautiful studio. The one thing that I would personally have a little hard time is this tall of a ceiling for the control room. I worked in many control rooms, different size and shapes, and I never, for some reason, never click with the high ceilings in the control room. You know, and I'm sure this one is professionally done, so it sounds great, but just looking at the picture, I would probably want like a cloud that cuts the height in half. Yeah, I think the monitors are ADC. I don't know if there's mains. We don't have any more pictures. This is an absolutely beautiful studio. Next, we have Matthew Lewis studio. We have a couple of synths here, running Apollo SSL bus compressor and the Neve EQ. This is nice 2-bus, what I figure is a 2-bus setup. Bunch of controllers and synths. Looks like more of a producer setup. I'm not liking the corners almost bare, with this little tiny thing, black thing, which is not gonna do anything. I would like to see, and you have panels behind them, almost behind the monitor. So I would put the panels definitely behind the monitors. Maybe change that desk, which is like this thin and forces you to be so close to the monitors, which I can't imagine is an ideal position. I would want to see a little more space between the wall and the desk maybe a little deeper, so you have a little bit of distance from the monitors, because those are fairly small monitors and you have them really wide apart, which means your mono image is going to be messed up. And that's one thing that I don't like, to have these huge screens in between. This is a joke, but it's not a joke. I always say if your computer screens are bigger than your monitors, like speakers, that's a problem. That's always why people say like, oh, how can you work with your small monitor? If I could have a smaller one, I would. You know, I don't have problems with my monitors because I have a robot arm and I can bring it close to me if I need to, but I see them like, you know, I have 10/10 vision, so I don't have problems. But I don't like to see so much real estate of screens in between monitors. I would much rather have the monitors closer so your stereo, your mono center image, it's more solid, and have them stacked on top of each other. I'm not a fan of that kind of setup. We have a lot of foam on the ceiling. Not a fan of it. I would have gone and bought another 3 panels or made another 3 panels, which are really cool with the cyberpunk thing, and just hang it from the ceiling. Because that foam ain't doing you any good at all. And yeah, we have more synths. You have like cool collections of synth and everything, but even if it's a production setup, more than a mixing setup, I would still get rid of that foam and get cloud that you can, you know, build yourself and just hang it from the ceiling. It would make things a lot better. And the jacket gets 10 points. Next one is Melvin Saldana. We only have 1 picture, and this is a home setup. Very simple. We have just a laptop and an SSL interface. Nothing wrong with that. I like that you put the traps, really thick traps, behind the monitors. I would love to see the traps in the corners. So maybe bring them in a little bit, the monitors, because you have them like fairly wide apart. I'm not sure what model of Genelex these are, what size, meaning if they're 6 inches, if they are 8 inches, still, even if they're 8 inches, they're kind of far-ish. Maybe it's the picture. But what I would like to see is for the monitors to be closer to you so you can place a trap in the corner and definitely break the top with another trap. You know, the top like ceiling to wall in front of you with another trap. And this is as simple as it gets, just 1 interface and a laptop and you're good to go. Just, yeah, you know, make better those corner and, you know, it'll be much better. Next one is Rob Audio Mix Club. That's beautiful. Similar to mine with a big desk. I have like all the side racks, but we have a nice collection of speakers with the Neumann, the big Neumann at the top. I would probably tilt those a little bit towards you. Maybe you do have them tilted and that from the picture doesn't look like it. I'm not sure if these in the corner is foam. This seems like a pretty professionally done studio, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it's not foam, but if it is foam, let's change that. I like the diffusion with the wood. I'm personally not a big diffuser guy. I want things pretty dead, and the only diffusion that I like usually is behind me a little bit, but even then, it's just personal preference. But if the corners that I see it's foam, let's change that. If not, that's awesome. Love the cloud at the top. I actually had to, you know, make a bigger one for myself. The one thing that I am not a big fan of is how close the gens and the NS10s, these are not the NS10s, these are the CLA 10s, are to you. But it's also, you know, not a big deal. You have just enough space. I would probably like them a little further back, but it might be the picture that shows the desk that is like less deep than what it is, because NS10s has been on, you know, on top of the consoles forever, but our desks are not that deep. So it's a little closer, but again, you also have the mains, so your setup monitoring wise is actually pretty cool. And gear wise, we have SSL, bus and fusion like I have, 2 distressors. I think this is another type of SSL comp, whatever it is. HG2 and Iron API, so I have like basically everything that I see here, so I can't say anything about the choices. The choices are amazing. I think this is a liaison from Dangerous and then an SPL channel strip or some sort. The Empress EQ again, which I have. I actually just got the deck, the El Delgado with SoundFlow, which I'm probably gonna do a video soon. And then we have Clariphonic. It's pretty popular. I didn't think many people had the Clariphonic. We also have a couple of like side speakers like that. That's a nice touch. Not a fan of these 2 here on the corner, and then we have 2 Apollos. That's a really nice setup. We have some more gear. What looks like an ISA Focusrite, and we have another picture. Yeah, same thing. But yeah, that's a really cool studio. Another home setup with homemade traps, which again they don't look that great, but they're probably efficient if you build them with rock wool and stuff. This is kind of a little bit messy with the what it seems like books under the speakers and stuff, and the JBL sub, which is probably like a hi-fi sub. Next one is Will Lundy with a mobile setup. I remember the email, he said that he's always traveling for work, and so he has a mobile setup, and that's how he makes music on the road, so every time is different. This is pretty simple setup. We have a Vault interface with a nice mic, SM7, headphones, so he works on headphones, and we also have a small condenser mic that I can't make out. Oh, this is small. It's not actually a small condenser mic. Again, I remember the email. This is a historic Shure that was given to him for a special occasion. That's a really cool mic. I don't know how it sounds, but it's definitely like a cool piece to have. And we have some more mic. I can't make this. This is another Shure. And then again, another setup on another location with laptop. Nothing wrong with this. Like, hey, I actually love this. You know, you're just so passionate about music that you make it work anywhere you are. This is probably acoustic music because it looks like a vocals and guitar setup every time. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Kudos for doing that. I like, because you can see the passion in like every time bringing the mobile setup like that. Andrea Acosta. All right, we have a 500 series Craneborn audio with a couple of preamps, a Mag EQ. I can't make up the monitoring. We have a couple of universal audio, the desktop preamp, and a couple of guitar pedals. So that's probably what it is. We have different setup for monitors. I'm not sure what monitors they are. Quested maybe, but it looks like, you know, it's well built. This is a built corner, so it's well treated probably. The monitors look a little high. So again, Twitter at ear high would be ideal. If you can't, you can still tilt it. Yeah, this looks like a built room. This looks like a tracking live room for guitars, and pedals, a lot of pedals we have. But yeah, the setup is, I would not put your monitors, the Genelecs, on what it seems like plastic containers. I would definitely not do that, and I would definitely angle the other speakers a little better. Ash Grayson. We have a bunch of pictures for this. Let's take a look. All right, we start with some synths and some gear. So we have NS stands and Adam and Genelecs and what it seems like Yamaha. So, okay, so all these four monitors kind of fit in the same category of near field. I would get rid of like probably 3 of them and buy like a midfield instead and keep the NS stands. You know, that's the first thing that it comes to mind when I see this. Also, the traps seem homemade, but again, doesn't mean that they are not efficient if they are well done. This is the AD or DA Dangerous, like I have. CL1B with Avalon and Distressor, and 73 style EQ or API, and what it seems like a Gamma. So this looks like the typical vocal recording chain, a giveaway, probably record vocals a lot. And we have an Apollo interface and 2 Apollo interfaces, 2 UA interfaces with a KRK sub. So we need to better the monitoring part, because you have expensive gear and you have like not that great monitoring. There's a lot of synths, so probably producer desk, producer setup, lots of synths. But yeah, I would definitely invest a little more and revisit your monitor choices, because they are kind of redundant. Although I figure, because you have synths on the side, you probably use a pair just to hear your synths, and then the mixing position is the Adam with the Genelecs and the NS10s. I would still probably get rid of the of the Adam and Gens and buy like a bigger speaker. If you can move the desk a little bit to make space for the bigger speakers, that would probably make things better. Break this corner here, and you probably can't because you have the curtain, but if you can, do it. But yeah, it's a cool setup. You have somewhat a ceiling on top and faders, for what I can tell, SSL and a Stream Deck. Now I feel like I made the right choice, because I just got the Stream Deck like a few days ago. And yeah, I think you have both AD and DA of Dangerous, which is exactly my other rig setup, and the TC Electronic, which is great. You know, if you guys don't have it, you don't know what you're missing. And Apogee. Okay, so we have also Apogee Symphony, probably to handle the Apollos, probably to handle the synths and everything, and the Motu MIDI. Big Bird Studio. So We have some pictures. We have the console one from Softtube. That's really cool. Monitoring. Oh, that's probably Peacock Studio, I think. The drummer. And then we have the Steinberg fader, which is really cool. Same effects setup that I have with the CC effects that are really awesome. And the Stam Audio 76D, amazing. And the Fusion. Then let's see if we have better pictures. Empress EQ and Evo Audio. That's really nice. Love the monitoring and the Empress Comp2A, Comp3A. I'm not liking this clusterfuck of monitors that much. And let me see if we have pictures of the actual desk. But we have Dione and Ria, both amazing compressors. SPL Big 1 Mag EQ, probably for vocals, and the 542s, because I have it on my tubas. So it's, if I'm not mistaken, this is because it's one of my clients, great rapper. That's probably why he has them, because I have him. And Fusion, yeah, and that's really cool. RME interfaces with patch bay and FMR compressors, some other dynamic processor and 2 preamps. Love the V API with the output level. I still have the old version with not the output level. Okay, I can see some here. It's not that bad. It looks like you have traps in the corner. That's fine. I don't know how thick they are, and that's a really nice setup for vocals. You got traps, which are probably, some of them are professional, some are homemade, but still cool. This is a Stam C800, amazing mic. I have one at my other studio. So this is a really cool setup. The one thing that I don't like at all is how is the clusterfuck of monitors, which are too close to you, especially because you have 8 inches, right? For the Eve Audio. Yeah, they should be further away from the listening position. And at different positions from the Oratones style speakers. And these are probably growth boxes, but you have basically 2 growth boxes. But you're too close. You're too close to the wall with the speakers. You're too close to the main monitors. That's definitely not ideal, but I'm pretty sure he knows. But other than that, it's a cool setup. Blake Davis Studio. All right, we have a lot of foam. Not a fan. Can't lie. Not a fan, and you don't have anything on the corners. Guys, that's the most important thing. First, foam doesn't do jack, all right? It just blunts high frequencies and probably make it worse. Corners are very important. You need to put big, thick, either super chunks or big traps in the corners. I know that at first it seems better because it blunts the flutter echoes and the reverberation of the room, but it's really not ideal. Like, invest a little more, especially because you got good gear. There's a Fatso, there's a Distressor, there's 2 budget Pool Textile EQ, but definitely we need to better this listening position here. Kind of different angle, same thing. It looks more like a producer probably setup, but still not a fan of the foam, not a fan of the bare corners. Okay, so we have a better image. You really don't have an ideal position. I don't know why you set up yourself like this, as like on the wide side as opposed to the shorter side. It would be better to control. And also, here's the problem that you have. By having the back wall so close to you, low frequencies don't have time or space, I should say, to develop, right? So you're probably gonna end up with a really bad null at the listening position, while if you position your desk from the side, which is where you have it now, where the couch is, and you leave space in the back, from the size that I think this is, most likely you won't have a null at all. And if you would have it, would be so easy to fix because you have so much wiggle room just moving the speakers away or closer to the front wall because you have so much space in the back. This is really not ideal. I don't know why you put yourself on the wide side. I would definitely pick better monitors. And okay, so we have a picture of the other side, and you have the door here. Yeah, again, I would put the desk and the setup where you're sitting and would probably sound better. This is very close to the back wall. I'm not a fan of that. Lots of foam, not like it. I also don't like this kind of lights on the foam because they could catch fire, and that's a whole different ball game. And also foam, this much foam for vocals is not good because it's gonna suck up all the life out of it and the high end, and it will still leave you with, this box looks very small, so we probably like low mids, and you have an SM7, you won't have much problems with that, but you change microphone, that's probably gonna be a problem. Slate and a Pro VLA, but yeah, good distressor. I would change this warm audio here and get something else for your tuba. Same here with the Pultec style EQs. Love the 6505. That's what I was trying to come up with earlier. That was my head. This one is, and the Framos Cobra when I was in the band years. That's my favorite. It's amazing. Oh, we have a KRK sub. No, I mean, they're not bad. They're not bad. I don't know how much it matches with the satellites, but again, I think you have bigger problems just by where you positioned it. And I think this is it for this first edition of Rate My Studio. I am afraid to ask you guys to send more pictures because I got hundreds of pictures in the first 2 days and I can't really handle that much. But send a picture, send links to a download to the picture. Do not send attachments because the man is gonna be overflown in like 2 days. And please don't send Instagram accounts. Put the picture somewhere like WeTransfer or whatever and send the link to download. And if you guys like the series, let me know in the comments down below. And I think this is it for this video. If you liked it, let me know. Don't forget to leave a like. Go to mixbusstv.com for all the mix and mastering courses and to book mix and mastering with me and all the other services. Become a member to access the exclusive videos here on YouTube and get all the other perks. And if you want to support the channel, please consider using the super thanks or grab some merch. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Stay safe. See you next time.